I would like to welcome Mr. Toohey to our studio today.
Thank you.
What values have you learned in your career as a leader?
Well, I would say as a leader, there's a quote from different people from history where a boss drives and a leader leads. In my philosophy, coming through culinary arts as well, you will only lead and get respect from people if you do the job as well as they do their job, meaning everything. You're in the trenches with them. You really can't sit behind the desk and just tell people what to do. I mean, there are positions that do that, but if you want to lead, you have to be in the front of the line and go forward, leading them into whatever your endeavor is.
So how gross are the middle schoolers? And you can be completely honest about this.
They have their ups and downs. There's certain times a year that they're grosser than others. I would say Halloween, after Halloween, the candy wrappers and gum and candies everywhere, and then they're good. And then they go into another lull, maybe around Easter, where they get gross again. But on the whole, I don't hold it against them. Nobody's perfect. And it's all part of my job to maintain a clean and safe environment for them.
How can the student population assist in making the school a cleaner place?
Well, I think if everyone took a little more responsibility on themselves, I know they wouldn't take a wrapper and throw it on their kitchen floor, or their mother would go berserk on them. And same here. You don't have to treat it like your home, but you should carry yourself with some respect and dignity. And if you see something on the floor, pick it up, put it in the barrel. A little help goes a long way.
Yes.
So what did you think about being included in the Mamma Mia performance?
That was scary, and it was wonderful. Yes, I had such a great time in that performance. The cast was great, very supportive of me. They even let me ad-lib a couple of lines, and on a whole, I thought it was a great experience.
So, Mr. Toohey, we heard that you were a professional chef. What was your favorite dish to create?
Well, I have so many, as far as like a stuffed chicken was my favorite, but not just stuffed chicken. It was, I would use like mozzarella cheese and a prosciutto ham, and I would just like push the envelope on what I could stuff a chicken with. I even stuffed the chicken with lobster meat, and it was but on a whole, I think the only thing I didn't like at all was maybe peas. All my food was my favorite food. I have so many steaks were wonderful. So, and then I got into a lot of baking, which was a lot of, different kinds of breads and rolls, but it's hard to say there's so much good food out there in different cultures. Every culture I have a different favorite food in every culture. So it's, but I would say seafood is another good choice of mine, and anything that's rare and exotic.
Yeah. So, can you tell us about your cooking experience and career?
Sure. Yeah, I went to culinary school. I got out. For a short time, I worked as a head baker at a restaurant, and I sort of cut my teeth at that. And the thing is, when you're going out, don't be afraid to make mistakes. I made a ton of mistakes, and I burnt a lot of food, but it taught me, if it's black, it's ready. When it's brown, it's done. So I cut my teeth on that, and ended up, I went out to sea for a little while as a baker aboard a ship for about 6 months. That was wonderful. But then I ended up working for the Department of Veterans Affairs for 23 years, and that was very rewarding. Once again, all those experiences, being a head baker at a restaurant, going out to sea, all those mistakes, you never repeat them twice. So I had a wonderful career there.
So I'm thinking of entering culinary at the Votech. Do you have any tips for people like me?
Yes. Try as many things as you can from as many cultures. It's all somewhat connected. You'll find that the Spanish will have empanadas. We call them turnovers. You'll have a cachina from Brazil. Well, we have the same thing. We call them croquettes. So it's a variation, but all the food is very similar. But I would try everything you could possibly, from seafood, from different cultures. And once again, don't be afraid to make a mistake. Even if you don't like it, try it. And at least you can say, you tried it, I didn't like it, but you know what you're talking about.
What is your favorite cuisine to make?
Ooh, well, back to, I like, I would say cuisine. That's a tough one because there's so many. I mean, if you're talking cuisine, that's sort of a culture question. So it's like Chinese, so like that. I love that. Italian, well, who doesn't? So all of it's great. If I had to have my last meal, maybe a baked stuffed lobster. So the cuisine, it's kind of tough because I'm open to everything from different cultures, whether it's even sushi's another one that I love.
So do you only create food or do you make specialty drinks as well?
Well, special drinks, yes. Recently, I just told you when we were off camera that I had my first iced coffee last year ever, and I couldn't believe it. It was wonderful, and now I get them all the time. But when it comes to specialty, other than we'll keep it a G-rated program, that also I love cappuccino, espresso. I can't start the day without my cup of coffee. And I'm trying different things with them. For example, like the Italians, they will put a twist of lime peel in their coffee. And I tried it, and it was wonderful. It just cuts all that acid from the coffee and smooths it out. And yeah, when it comes to specialty drinks, one of my favorites are different kinds of coffee, different kinds of, I tried a Cuban coffee the other day. It was like 2 ounces, and it was loaded with sugar, and it was just rocket fuel. So yes, when it comes to coffee, that's my go-to specialty drink.
What is your least favorite food to cook and eat?
I would have to say there isn't. I said they're all my favorites. Yeah, I would not put out any category of food. I love all kinds of cultures and food. There was no least to that. I would go overboard on anything like that, whether it's French food, Italian food. It's all good to me. It's all good, yep.
So what is your favorite pastime?
Pastime. Well, I'd like to get back into playing a little more golf these days. This job keeps me pretty busy, but I used to enjoy playing quite a bit of golf. And not well, but I would go out and it would be a nice walk for me.
What is something that we don't know about you that would be interesting to our viewers?
Let's see. I don't know. That would be interesting. Geez, I'm not that interesting, but I would say probably a frustrated artist. I did, back in the day, have a portfolio of all my little artwork at one time. And then I just gave it up. But it's something in the future that I'd probably like to get back into. I used to love to draw and paint and stuff like that, which I haven't done in years. But if there was someone didn't know me and said, wow, I didn't know you liked to do that, but the art world still interests me, which I took into my culinary field as well, because I also became, to back that up, I became a cake decorator as well. So there was those making roses out of frosting, all kinds of flowers out of frosting, and pastries, and even in school, when we had a show, and a friend of one of my fellow students today, we made a alligator out of bread dough. And for the scales at the back, we just took scissors and cut the scales. So then when he proofed up, it was this giant alligator out of bread. So I still kind of stay in the art world like that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, nice. Thank you, Mr. Mike Toohey, for coming to the WRPS studio.
Well, thank
My
you
name
for
is
having me.
Colin, and I'm here with Natalie from the WRPS studio.
Thank
Good
you
night.
very
Good
much.
night.
Thank you.